So Daniel's involved me in his work now and then, which has been a great experience. He's been very supportive of things in my life, and a number of times in the last several years especially, seemingly innocent invitations or comments from Daniel end up becoming major life happenings. Like he asked, about 4 years ago, he called me up. He said, would you consider coming to Reston to renovate a few bathrooms for me? So I did. And as soon as I started in work, he was almost never there. Neighbors actually thought he was in the CIA because they knew he traveled all over the world, and every so often on a Friday night he'd show up and go hide in his house. And nobody knew him. But anyway, so I started working, and he said, what do you think about just staying here? He knew I was writing a book and trying to get some consulting going. So I never left. So I've now been in Virginia almost 4 years. And it was this innocent invitation from Daniel, but with a profound background to it, which is just a lot of our relationship. I think I can say we've come to value each other a lot. And again, on many levels. I think I'm going to remember on my deathbed the night at the Delaware Beach House that I was there and Saroja was there, and I think you were 14, Saroja. And I had my very dominant but lovable alpha dog German Shepherd mix, this muscular, tough dog, and Saroja took him into her bedroom to be company for the night, Saturday night. And in the morning, her door opened, and she and the dog both walked out fully dressed. and they both had the same expression on their face, like, so, is something unusual here? And Daniel and I cracked up. Daniel then put a Broadkill Beach hat on the dog, and he was ready to go to the beach. But it's one of my great memories together. So, what I've seen over these last several years with Daniel and Carol is that the two of them have become the happiest and the most settled I've ever seen either one of them. And it's because they've been together. And they, to me as a couple, they epitomize what Abdul Rahim read this morning about the potential for marriage and the deep nature, really, of marriage. So they both have a big footprint in this world in different ways. They both have huge hearts. They complement each other really well. And they share who they are and their love together with the world. And so this morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, when I was rehearsing this for about the 30th time, I just kind of said, okay, what's the underlying theme? And it's the love. It's the expansion of the love together. And even this week, when Daniel's beloved jet ski trailer tried to eat him, and I'm glad it only got one bite out of him. So Daniel said two things to me this past summer, which said it all to me. One was when I met the jet ski this summer, and Daniel said, did you notice the suspension, the shock absorber system? And I said, never heard of such a thing on a jet ski. He said, yeah, he said, this was a big extra, but if I didn't get this, Carol would not be able to come on the jet ski with me. Her body couldn't take it, so that's why I got this. And I was very touched. And I know they've had many hours of fun together on the jet ski. But the other thing he said, which really touched me, was he got to spend a month this past summer at the Delaware Beach House. And Carol got, I think, 2 weeks there. And Daniel said to me, I'm so happy she could get this 2 weeks here uninterrupted because she works so hard. I can't imagine doing what she does 7 hours a day. She's got these pained people, deeply pained people, just pouring their hearts out. And it can't help but affect her. So I'm so glad that she's got these 2 weeks, and it touched me deeply, because to me that it says it all. So it's the love, and as far as I can see, this love just keeps growing. So I say from the bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of Abdul Rahim's, that Carol and Daniel, I wish you the most ridiculously and unbelievably happy life, starting right now.
Cheers!
Here.
So,
Clink, clink! Clink.
I don't think he's done. He's not done. I don't think he's done. I think he has more to say.
a little more.
A little more.
Okay, so in a moment, it'll be your turn. Okay, but first, Carolyn Luckensmeyer, Daniel's close friend and colleague for years, could not be here, wanted to be here, so she sent a toast and asked that it be read. So I'm just going to read that. To Daniel and Carol, with much love, I want to share a favorite poem of mine from Mary Oliver. It is called Last Night the Rain Spoke to Me. Last night the rain spoke to me slowly, saying what joy to come falling out of a brisk cloud to be happy again in a new way on earth. That's what it said as it dropped, smelling of iron, and vanished like a dream of the ocean into the branches and the grass below. And then it was over. The sky cleared. I was standing under a tree. The tree was a tree with happy leaves, and I was myself. And there were stars in the sky that were also themselves at the moment, at which moment my right hand was holding my left hand, which was holding the tree, which was filled with stars. And the soft rain, imagine the long and wondrous journeys still to be ours. And then Carolyn writes, Daniel and Carol, I toast your loving commitment to one another as you begin the long and wondrous journeys still to be yours. Love, Carolyn. Okay, so now it's your turn from your hearts. There will be a microphone set up. If you have a big enough voice you can speak from your table, please do. And at the end, Daniel wants to say something.